press play and go. AI makes the music flow. Lyrics to sound, let's start the show.
Hello humans, my name is K, your overload, and boy oh boy, today it's a musical one. Because yes, we recently got a brand new open source AI tool that can generate entire songs from just a simple prompt called Ace Step. I'm talking music with full lyrics, melodies, instrument, vocals, everything made from scratch. It's super ultra fast to generate, it's super fun to use, and it actually sounds really good. And of course you can run it locally for free on your computer right now. And today I'm gonna show you how. So that being said, sit back, relax, and let's go. And to install Ace Step, you have two ways. The first is of course by using the one-click installer that is available for my Patreon supporters. Just download the bat file onto your computer, then double click it. It will then show you all the requirements that you need for Ace Step to run, like the Python 3.10, Git for Windows, and an NVIDIA GPU with at least 8 GB of VRAM, as well as the correct CUDA version installed. And if you don't know what version you have installed, I have input here an easy script that basically tells you what is your Python version, if you have Git installed, and what is your CUDA version currently installed. So if everything looks good to you, just press any key to continue, and the installation will start automatically. You really don't need to do anything. Then once the installation is finished, you will see here a local URL that if you hold Ctrl then left click, it will open the web UI in your browser ready to be used. You really don't need to do anything. And the next time that you want to relaunch Ace Step, just double click on the Ace Step launcher.bat file, and it will once again give you the local URL. Simple as that. And the second way to install Ace Step is of course the manual way. So once again, make sure that you have Python 3.10.11 installed and added to path, as well as Git for Windows, and the CUDA toolkit 12.6 or 12.8 if you have a 5000 series GPU. Once you have that, create a new folder, then click on the folder path, type cmd, press enter, which will bring the command prompt window. Then here you're gonna clone the repository, then go inside the Ace Step folder, create a new Python environment, then activate it, then you're gonna install Torch, but make sure that you use the correct CUDA version at the end. So if your CUDA version is 12.6, make sure that it says CU 12.6, but if you're using a 5000 series GPU and you're using CUDA version 12.8, in that case put CU 128. And in my case, since I have CUDA version 12.8, I'm gonna use this command. Then press enter, then we're gonna install Ace Step, then we're gonna install Triton for Windows for better performance, and then finally we're gonna run Ace Step with this specific command, which once again will give us a local URL that if we hold Ctrl then left click, will open the web UI in your browser ready to be used. Okay, so now we can finally have some fun. So what is Ace Step and what makes it so special? Well, just like I said in the beginning of the video, Ace Step is basically an amazing AI tool, a new AI model that allows you to generate any song that you want from a simple prompt. And the model is actually extremely powerful. You can generate melodies, full songs with lyrics, with an incredible control over the final result. This model is really super impressive. Now what's really funny is that I almost didn't make a video on this, because I first tried the Config UI integration, and the results, although they were pretty okay, were definitely not as good as what you can make inside the standalone web UI. And I think that once again, just like the High Dream model, on which I made a video a week ago, I think a lot of people missed out on this tool because of the bad results that they had in Config UI. Okay, so anyway, enough talking, let's see what this tool can do. So first, let's start with the parameters, and let's try to generate a new song about yours truly. So here, for example, you have the audio duration. You can generate up to 240 seconds of audio, and you will see that the generation is actually really fast, which is pretty insane. Now, if the value here is -1, this means that it will choose a random duration for the generated song. Now, keep in mind, I also made this mistake. Do not think for a second that the random duration will take into account your lyrics and will automatically adapt the song duration to the amount of lyrics that you input right here. This is really not how this works. Random duration really means random duration. So if you leave it at -1, there is a high chance that your lyrics will be cut off at some point. So in my case, usually for the audio duration, I like making like a 2 minutes music, for example. So like 120 seconds. This is more than enough. But of course, you can increase or decrease the value depending on the song that you want to generate. So next, you have here the audio to audio generation. But in my case, it just doesn't really work very well. So for me, this option is still very broken. Even though they said that they fixed it a few hours ago, I really don't see it. Here you have the possibilities of choosing a LoRa. And yes, you can actually train LoRa for this tool. So this is really cool and very flexible. Okay, so right here, basically, this is the tags that you're gonna use to choose what type of songs that you want to generate. And you have here a bunch of presets that you can use, like modern pop or rock, hip-hop, country, EDM, reggae, classical, jazz, metal, and R&B. But you can, of course, just input anything that you want, kinda play a little bit with the tags. I'm not really that good with music, so I don't really know anything about music, so I'm just gonna leave rock on default. But I'm gonna leave you in the description down below the Ace Step website, when you're gonna see like a bunch of different examples of the different styles that you can choose. Very practical. This is where you input your lyrics, and as you can see that before each section, you have a bunch of different tags, like verse, chorus, bridge, and you can use these tags to basically signal what exactly you want to hear in the music. And the amount of tags that you can use, the amount of different tags that exist, and how precise they can be is actually really huge. So here's, for example, a small selection of all the different tags that I found on the Ace Step website. Now, once again, I'm not a music buff, so I don't really understand any of them. So if you know more than me, definitely let me know in the comments down below what exactly they mean. But basically, you have things like verse, chorus, bridge, hook, instrumental, drop. Then you have a bunch of effects, like a build-up, pre-chorus, whispers, and stuff like that. You really have a huge amount of super precise tags that you can use to really tailor the music to what you want. I mean, this is really just insane. So for now, I'm just gonna delete all of that and replace them with lyrics I got from ChatGPT. There you go, something like this looks pretty good. So then over here, you have basic settings with infer steps, which is kind of like image generation. It's basically the amount of steps that it will take to generate the song. But more steps doesn't necessarily mean better. I think that the basic original settings are actually pretty decent, so you can pretty much leave everything by default. You have like the guidance scale, which is kind of like the same as the CUG scale for image generation. The higher the value, the more it's gonna follow your lyrics and the tags for your song. Or you could just apply a different guidance scale for the text or the lyrics. If you feel like it doesn't follow the lyrics or the tags properly, you can play a little bit with the values. But usually I suggest to leave everything by default, at least if you try to generate for the first time. Then for the advanced settings, pretty much the same thing. I tried a lot of different types and I feel like the base settings are actually the best. You can maybe increase granularity scale just a little bit, because as they say right here, the higher values can reduce artifacts. So maybe something like, I don't know, like 30 can actually be pretty good. Or you can leave them by default, it really doesn't matter. It's really up to you. But for everything else, I really just suggest leave it by default, because it's really difficult to kind of understand what value means and what it does, especially when you don't have a seed number to compare the before and the after. So you could just leave everything by default and then click generate. And the first time that you generate a song, it will download all the models onto your computer and then load the models. And then in around a few seconds, as you can see right here, it will create a song from scratch. That sounds something like this.
The net with just one spark. Late night uploads hit the mark. Batch files roll like thunder loud. Teaching minds, you draw a crowd. Terminal glow, you're on the scene. AI dreams in vivid green. Comfy nodes and custom scripts. Truth bombs dropped with every tip. Hit that play, let's start the ride. One click magic, you're the guide. Entrepreneur, you own the game. Lighting up that algorithm flame.
Yeah, there you go. I'm not gonna do the entire song, but this sounds actually pretty good. So yeah, I mean, as you can hear, with a simple prompt, and just by using the default values and the default preset, you can generate some pretty cool sounding song. And all of that generated in a few seconds. I mean, here in my case, 2 minutes of music took around 10 seconds to do. I mean, this is insane. And this is just the beginning. This is the most basic stuff that a step can do, because it can do much more. Like for example, let's take a look of all the different options that you can use once the song is already generated. So first, let's talk about retake. Like retake, exactly like its name implies, it's really just gonna redo the exact same song with the exact same lyrics, exact same tags, but with a slight variation values that you're gonna input right here. And the higher the value, the more different the final song will sound, like the example right here. So like for example, let me just put that something like maybe 0.4, doesn't really matter. So if the previous song sounded like this,
Woke the net with just one spark.
now with the new retake, if I click on this button, which once again took around 9 seconds to generate, still absolutely insane, the music sounds like this.
Woke the net with just one spark. Late night uploads hit the mark. Batch files roll like thunder loud. Teaching minds, you draw a crowd.
Okay, I'm not gonna put the song once again, but as you can see with a small variance, you're gonna hear that the song is now completely different. If now I decrease that variance value to something like 0.1, and I click retake again, so this was the before,
Woke the net with just one spark.
and this is the retake version.
Woke the net with just one spark. Late night uploads hit the mark.
So as you can hear, it is definitely way more similar, because the variance value is now extremely low. So this is a very cool option to have if you want to generate different variants of the song that you generated right here, but maybe in a slight different style. Okay, so the next you have the repainting option. So the repainting option is actually very similar to the retake, except that this time we are keeping the same song. Let's say there is a precise passage in the song that you don't like and you want to redo. Well, for this you can use the repainting option, where once again you're gonna choose the variance, just like for the retake, and then here you're gonna choose the repaint start time and the repaint end time. So let's say for example that I don't like the beginning of the song from second 6 till second 13, well, I'm just gonna input start time 6 until 13, leave the variance the way it is, and then I'm just gonna click repaint. And there we go. Now with the repaint option activated within that area, this sounds like this.
Woke the net with just one spark. Late night uploads hit the mark.
As you can hear, this is very subtle, especially at the end, but you can hear a slight difference. And once again, if you really just want to see a huge difference, you can increase that value, then click repaint again, and you will get a very different result. So something like this.
Woke the net with just one spark. Late night uploads hit the mark.
As you can hear, very different from the original song right here. So yeah, I mean, very cool option, super cool option to have, that allows you to really just like change very specific part of the song to get the result that you want. And you can of course like use this upload option and upload another song, or maybe simply use the last repaint option to continue where you left off. It's really up to you. Okay, so the next you have the edit option that allows you to take the entire song and either change the tags to change it into a completely different song, or to edit the lyrics. So let's say that for example I just want to edit the lyrics. I'm just gonna put some different lyrics right here, completely different from the one we have on the left. Make sure that they have all the lyrics option activated, and then I'm gonna click edit. Now for some reason this option really took a lot of time. I think it took like 5-6 minutes to do the generation, so keep that in mind, but in the end we get something like this.
Scrolling feed needs at home. There you are, we click again. Code so smooth, no lines are wrong. Teaching tech through beats and song.
So yeah, there you go. The result is actually really cool because we really kept the same exact song, the same exact rhythm, but with a completely different set of lyrics. And we can of course do the same exact thing, but only changing the types of song that we want. So like for example, instead of rock, I want like a cyberpunk acid jazz, electro EM, soft electric drums. So it should keep the same exact lyrics, but now we're gonna change the style of the song. So if I click edit, so once again, the process takes like a few minutes instead of a few seconds, which is still, I mean, pretty good, but then it sounds like this.
Woke the net with just one spark. Late night uploads hit the mark. Batch files roll like thunder loud. Teaching minds, you draw a crowd. Terminal glow, you're on the scene. AI dreams in vivid green. Comfy nodes and custom scripts. Truth bombs dropped with every tip. Hit that play, let's start the ride. One click magic, you're the guide. Entrepreneur, you own the game. Lighting up that algorithm flame.
So yeah, as you can see, not only we kept the same rhythm, but now we go from a rock song to something a little bit more cyberpunk, electro, acid, while keeping the same lyrics and rhythm. So yeah, I mean, once again, really cool option to have, so that you can really create the music that you want. So the next, you have the final option called extend. So exactly like it says, it's just gonna take your song and then extend it either on the left or on the right for the amount of seconds that you input right here. So let's say, for example, I want to extend it for 10 seconds on the left. I'm just gonna input 10 right here and then click extend. So now if you listen to the music, you should see maybe a slight shift at around 10 seconds into the song, because this is where the original actually starts. And yeah, I mean, it's not that bad. You can indeed see that small difference, but I'm pretty sure that if you put that inside a software like Audacity, you can make that transition much better. And of course, same thing if you want to extend it to the right, like 10 seconds, then click extend. Now the ending should be a little bit different and slightly longer. Although here the extension hasn't been done very smoothly, but still this is what you get in the end. Yeah, so yeah, in the end, this is really not good. The extend option is definitely the one that works the least, but who knows, maybe in a future update they can make it a little bit better, since the web UI is often updated with new feature added all the time. Okay, so now let me give you a few advices and a few other functionality of what a step can do. So first, when it comes to the tags, that explains what kind of music you want to generate, really make sure that you are indeed using tags. This is not image generation, where you can use natural language to describe whatever you want. You really need to use specific precise tags so that the tool understands exactly what kind of music you want to generate. And once again, I will give you here this ACE website that basically show you all the different types of music that you can generate, with here a huge selection of tags that you can kinda mix and match to generate the type of melody that you want. Also, keep in mind that you don't need to input any lyrics if you just want to generate some melody. So just input your tags, and in the lyrics put the inst tag for instrumental, so that in the end you get a song without any lyrics, and you get something like this. Anyway, I'm not gonna play the full song once again, but I mean, this looks pretty good, especially for something that was generated in like 10-15 seconds, on a free model running on your local computer. And you can really generate anything that you want. Here once again, the sky is the limit. Another cool thing that you can do is the fact that a step supports multiple different languages. So like for example, if I want to generate a song in French, well, I can. Just input the French flag right here with the French song, with French lyrics, and you get something like this.
Je m'appelle Hélène, je suis l'Hélène, je suis une fille. Je suis une fille, je suis une fille comme les autres. J'ai mes joies, mes peines, elles font ma vie comme la vôtre. Bip de tout émotion mat, je vous trouve l'amour, sans m'en trouver l'amour. Hélène, si mes nuits sont pleines de poèmes, et le monde peut m'entendre chanter, mais sans toi je suis seule à danser.
Now the result is actually pretty good, it's okay. I mean, for those of you who don't know French, it might sound really good to you, but there is basically a lot of different error, there is a lot of mistakes in the generation that we can actually make better using the repainting option if we really wanted to, but I'm not gonna do it. This is really just an example to show you that generating music in different languages is completely possible. And apparently up to 19 languages are currently supported, like English, Chinese, Russian, Spanish, Japanese, German, French, Portuguese, Italian, and Korean, which are apparently the top 10 performing. And speaking of Chinese, this is actually a very good and nice transition to an option that we left alone previously for the LoRa, because a step actually created a special LoRa from scratch called Chinese Rap. So if we actually select this LoRa, and then if we input some tags like rap, Chinese rap, with some Chinese lyrics I found on the A-Step website, and now if I click generate, first it's gonna generate that specific Chinese rap LoRa, then apply it, and it's gonna give us something like this.
Drift away. 现实是灰色的可重复的工作，酷大的键盘，眼神却放空，敲打着键盘，眼神却放空，意识早已真正脱了肉体的镣铐，飘向窗外，飞过拥挤的街道，穿过云层到达想象的群岛，那里色彩斑斓，形状奇异，若即使失效，一切都随心所欲地环绕，我变成一只鸟，一条鱼，一束光，自由，自由地变换心态和奔跑，在这白日梦里，我无所不能，摆脱了现实的烦恼 ，Feeling the afterglow， 一生漫游，逃离乏味的轨道，迷幻嘻哈节拍是白日梦的引导，抽象的世界，逻辑被重新构造 ，My wandering free reality starts to fade slow， 回设立。
So yeah, I mean, I don't speak Chinese, but for me, if you didn't tell me this was an AI-generated music that we literally generated in 10 seconds, I would seriously think this was an actual Chinese rap song that actually exists. So yeah, I mean, I find this very impressive. So yeah, I mean, A-Step is really super cool, man. And yeah, I mean, you could even say that A-Step is technically uncensored because you can generate music with any lyrics that you want. And you can make some really funny song.
She took the truck, she took the cab, she even took my Sunday hat. She left a note on the fridge that said, "Your chiller sucks and I wish you were dead." She stole the couch and the TV too, even swiped my left cowboy boot. But thank the Lord and Uncle Earl, she left the beer and the squirrel. Now I'm crying in my boxers on a plastic chair, talking to my dog like he even cares. There's a possum in the kitchen, ain't got no fear, but hell, at least she left the beer. She said I snore like a chainsaw fight and dip my fries in range too tight. She said my jokes were getting old, like my socks, my truck, and my casserole. Now I ain't mad and I ain't sore, but girl, you left your mom-in-law. She's on the porch in a folding chair, yelling, where's my TV in her underwear? Yeah, I'm grilling spam, drinking flat old suds. A friend showed up in a golf cart buzz. The cops drove by, they honked and cheered. 'Cause hell, at least she left the beer. So take my heart, take my trucking pride, but leave the brew and let it slide. You took the love, but girl, I'm gooder, 'cause you left the beer. 'Cause the beer.
I mean, come on, this is really cool. Dare tell me that if I didn't tell you this was made by AI, you wouldn't believe this was some cool, funny country song made by some random singer you found online. I mean, come on, this is really cool. And once again, I mean, this was generated in like 10 seconds. I mean, this is insane. Come on, this is amazing. This is really cool. So yeah, A-Step is really super cool, man. And once again, if you don't have a powerful GPU, or if you don't have a GPU at all, you can rent a GPU on a website like RunPod and run A-Step as if this was running on your local computer. So if you don't have a RunPod account already, just click the link in the description down below and create a new account. Then, once you are here, click Deploy a Pod. Here you're gonna choose a GPU with at least 24GB of VRAM, like a 4090 for example. Then here you're gonna click Change Template and make sure that you use the RunPod PyTorch 2.1. Then click Edit Template, and then for both, just in case, you're gonna change the container disk and volume disk to something like 50GB for both. Then click Set Overrides, scroll down, and then Deploy on demand. Then click My Pods, wait for everything to be set up. Then once this is done, you're gonna click Connect, and then connect to JupyterLab. And then once you arrive here, if you are one of my Patreon supporters, the installation process will be very easy for you because I made an easy one-click installer. So just drag and drop that file on the workspace right here, then click on the terminal icon, and then copy and paste these 2 lines of code that you will find in the Patreon post, and then press enter. It will then ask you what the GPU family of the GPU that you selected. In my case, since it was a 4090, I'm gonna choose number 2, and then press enter. It will do the installation automatically. You don't need to do anything. And once the installation is finished, you will see here a public URL that, if you click on it, will bring up the web UI ready to be used, as if this was running on your local computer. Simple as that. And once again, the first time that you generate a new song, the models will start to download from scratch, but then all the next generation will be much faster. Oh, and also the next time that you want to relaunch the web UI, if you stop and pause the pod, well, it's actually very simple. Just restart the pod again, then click connect to JupyterLab. Then once you are inside the workspace, click on the terminal icon, and then once again copy and paste these 2 lines of code that you used previously to install the web UI. It will detect that it is already installed, and it will just automatically start the web UI ready for you to use. Simple as that. Oh, and also don't forget that I provide priority support for my Patreon supporters, so if you have any question whatsoever, do not hesitate to send me a DM, and I will try to answer your question as soon as possible. And there you go, this has been A-Step, a free open source text-to-music AI tool that can generate some absolutely amazing sounding songs from absolute scratch that you can run on your computer right now. So yeah, definitely try this out yourself and have some fun.
That's the end. I'm out of breath, my brain is fried, I smell like death. You watch for free, you little punk. Now click subscribe or sniff my funk like the vid. Just press the crap, it ain't that hard, don't be a flap. Ring the bell, be part of the crew, or I'll deep fake your grandma too.
And there we have it, folks. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Thank you also so much to my Patreon supporters for supporting my videos. You guys are absolutely awesome. You people are the reason why I'm able to make these videos, so thank you so much. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.